God, what? You're gonna reopen the pizzeria? Are we gonna have to deal with him in chapter 5? No way.
Oh, hell no, that's so fruity.
We get rewarded with a fat $500. So we start off chapter 4, messing around in the shop a little bit. So we had a recent event that came up, which was like an animal event. And so of course, you know me, I gotta buy something. I got a lot of gems, so I bought the pod ladle. And so after that, I kind of looked around for a little bit more and basically got jumping back into the day. I bought the stacked counter because I was sick and tired of having to go through all the different ingredients. And I also bought the basil buddy to help me make pizza easier. I went ahead and rearranged all the different toppings, and it took me a little bit, but I agreed on like a arrangement where most of the main meats are going to stay on the left side and a lot of the fruits will stay on the right. So we had the city council announce that the land in front of us, which if you remember from the last chapter, had got taken down when we destroyed it. Right? We also have Big Data Pizza, who apparently has come on the scene and come around our town, whose CEO, Mrs. Angelica Bechamel, has basically come in and kind of started up on her own. We also find out, after listening to another one of Dr. Price's ads, that he's an effective salesman, and that's the main thing that he does. We also know that Big Data Pizza has basically started up a pizza restaurant across from us and that they bought out the lot. So, naturally moving from there, we see that she starts to succeed and that it's due to efficient and making high quality pizza, which definitely isn't the case. After a couple days, she comes in and starts trying to yap to us about how, we're gonna be destroyed and, we went and defeated Dr. Michael Ke, who had his pizza place in front of us, and that somehow we didn't do it using data, we just did it using hard work, which she didn't believe, and that she herself had beef with it.
Oh, hell no, that's so fruity. That's so fruity.
After that, we see the return of Alicante talking to us about Big Data Pizza, and basically saying that like it is really hard to deal with them, and in order to be able to fight them off, he doesn't like them either. And I need to get my hands on garlic if I'm gonna do it. And this point is demonstrated when we have a customer come in asking us about garlic, obviously obsessed with it, and we don't have a way to do it. Then we got this pizza pet, and we made them a nice pizza pet, alright. After that, we run into the eggplant lady again, who's telling us about a way that we can get garlic. So instead of trying to buy it ourselves, she gives us seeds and introduces us to this garden feature where we can plant seeds, we can take out seeds, and we can harvest them to put vegetables for free and grow them from our garden and put them on pizza for people, which unlocks all new types of recipes for this chapter. Then, after a certain amount of time, they'll be ready. So you should come back and grab them whenever they are so that you can basically have more ingredients to use for free. After introducing this to us, she asks us if we need any more help and says that she'll come back later. We had this one guy be confused about where exactly he was at, and that sucked. But in the news later, we hear that we get more backstory about the CEO who apparently opened her first shop trying to do hard work and lost because Dr. Michael K beat her out. We then hear from Dr. Price that he's offering garlic as a topping and that we can basically select ads from him to make certain ingredients more or less likely to be ordered, which is really amazing. We also buy the bell pepper buddy to help us out, and we also hear in the news that Giovanni's Pizzeria and Deli is closing its doors, and that Big Data Pizza is having a strange effect on pizzerias nearby. Now she comes back in yapping about how BDP is going to release a new topping that's going to leave us in the dust, that they're releasing sliced tomatoes, and then we get this interesting tip from a secret investigator telling us don't give pizza to the robot, which was very strange and confusing. After that, we hire the pepperoni buddy and get on to this next day talking to this lady who reveals that her name is Sasha and that she owned a business that was right around the side in the corner and she got shut down due to BDP's arrangement. Then on the news, we hear about more places being shut down, and the WPA, or World's Pizza Association, announces they're looking into it. This also comes with the news of a robot, Megabyte, who's going around offering people discounts and looking into people's pizza places. Also, we hear from the eggplant lady again that she could help us out with our tomato problem, and then she might come back and give us something to help out. The investigator comes back in and figures out what's off about Megabyte going and collecting pieces from other places. It's that he is trying to collect and steal other places' recipes by looking like a fun robot, right? And so we're gonna help him investigate and go against it. After a couple of days, we got the onion buddy. We got enough money to buy it. And we move on to the next day, talking to her again, accusing her of using Megabyte to steal recipes. And she basically says, I don't think you understand what you're saying, and we're not doing that. Megabyte, also being offended, comes in here talking to us about how rude we are. And after asking him to do a little digging, it finds out that he is analyzing other stores' recipes. And in denial, he runs away to try to maybe find a way to be a pizza-loving robot who doesn't steal stuff. We also run into this CEO, right? And after serving him, we find out that he's the maker of a self-driving pizza delivery car, but he needs an investor, and that in a little bit, we will basically be able to make a choice on whether to invest or not. Sasha comes back in again, telling us that she's been struggling a lot, and that, her son is basically sick, and that we can help her out, eventually. We also buy the hire cutter, because it helps us auto-cook pizzas to speed things up. And we hear back from the eggplant lady later that she found tomato seeds, and that we'll be able to plant them in the garden and grow them as well. So you'll see throughout that we grow certain plants as they get introduced throughout. Oh my god, bro. You need to stop listening to the multiple personalities talking to you in your head and actually pay attention, bro. You gotta be kidding me. My god. Oh, he pulls back up again, and we're gonna invest $200 in that because it will return double profits later. We also run into Angelica again, and she basically is pissed off because we've got tomatoes now. She doesn't know that we grew them, and once she heard that, she gets really upset because we're not getting closed whatsoever anytime soon. The robot also comes back and says that he's dug into it and that he was in fact designed to go and steal people's recipes and that his algorithm is broken, but he wants to go back and basically get out of it. He's conflicted about it and he wants to run away and actually fight back against his creator and become an awesome pizza robot that he was designed to be. So we'll see in the future it comes back. We also have this farmer whose farms were basically bought out by BDP, saying that he still has jalapeno seeds, and if we want to get them, we're going to have to grow 12 plants in our garden. We talk to the investigator again and get the achievement, who would have thought, because the agent was working with the WPA. After this, we go into the store again, having saved up a whole lot of money, and we buy the pineapple buddy and go on to the next day. A couple days later, we also hire the bacon buddy as well, so that it's easier to make pizzas. And I left the game for a couple days, came back, and had a bunch of garlic growing. And I decided, in order to be able to get the 12 plants faster, I'm just gonna grow them with gems. So I went and harvested a bunch, and while harvesting, I got the achievement Green Thumb for growing 15 plants in the garden. So as I continued along, I went and grabbed this last garlic right here, and finally got the 12 that I needed in order to be able to get jalapenos. And lo and behold, the farmer showed up right after and led me to the garden so that I can actually grow them. So I harvested these other garlics and I planted the jalapenos that he gave me. And we also got a visit from Dr. Price where we could buy jalapeno ads. After that, Angelica gets really mad. She comes over storming over here saying that she's all mad because she's being investigated by the WPA and the robot spilled her secrets out, and that she's mad at us. And she wants to buy the pizzeria off us and make us leave. And we said no, because her jalapeno pizza that she's gonna roll out is no match for our jalapeno pizzas grown from the forest off of hard work. That night, we went ahead and bought the ham buddy in order to help us make pizzas faster. And we got a talk from Alicante about this new feature called House Special, where you can basically customize a certain pizza that people will basically come in and order occasionally. And of course, we had to make it a regular pepperoni pizza because we can charge more for it and it'll be easy to make. We then made him one because he asked us to, and he said that we're not half bad. Maybe we can actually beat them using that. From there, we also talked to Dr. Price again, talking to us about how if we take this new ad for our pizzas, more people come in and order them. After that, we get a visit once again from Mr. Claire, returning our investment and offering us a new idea. And we go through and we kind of talk to him and we find out that we could invest in Pizza Token or launch a rocket in space. And of course, we went for Pizza Token because Pizza Token will actually result in you getting more money at the end of the investigation. So we spent $250. We also hired the sauce buddy, and we basically continued on our day after that, where we ran into Sasha again saying she needs help. Her pizzeria is about to shut down and she can't afford to give her son medicine. She needs 50 pizza funds. There's an option to give her 50 more, so we give her 50 more. And then we give her 50 more. And then we give her 50 more. And then we give her 50 more again. And then the game cuts us off because we're way too generous. And we give her a big hug. Megabyte is back, saying that he fixed his logic and that he wants a pizza from us to look at. And of course, we're gonna oblige him. He gives us fair warning about Bechamel and her plan to cause a price hike in different ingredients. And that now he's basically choosing to rebel against her. And that the same thing that Michael Kidd tried to do to us, he tried to do to her, and he succeeded against her but failed against us. So he's not gonna change. Maybe she has, but he won't. We also buy the Mushroom Buddy, and she comes back in getting really upset about the fact that we've got a special pizza and she has no way to compete with us. Dr. Price also comes in, saying that he heard what happened from outside the door, and that he's actually here to help us, and we can get more business through advertisements with him. So we make a little bit of a deal, and we'll get a bunch of rounds of ads coming in. Things start getting hyped, and for this week, the classic meat is getting hyped up, which is a big problem. Luckily for us, with our deal we just made with Dr. Price, we can actually choose the option to have only veggie orders that day so we don't lose out on money, which is absolutely convenient. The next day in the news, we see that meat prices have returned to normal, but all other toppings are out of control. So now we're probably only going to want meat toppings, which is why we picked the ad for it. And so we made house specials the next day because we had chosen a thing to only get house specials and got the achievement, make it special, since we had gotten so many achievements. We also had enough money to hire the chicken buddy, and we talked to the investigator again, saying that he did sneak into HQ and that he got a whole bunch of information on the BDP and bringing them to the WPA's judgment. Because originally, if you remember in that last little bit of news, they didn't have enough evidence to really, they didn't really have enough to prosecute them. So after that, we see in the news that she is in trouble and that all the price hikes that have been happening, all of this goes back to normal. And that Big Data Pizza is basically being fined by the WPA for anti-competitive practices such as stealing people's recipes and hiking the prices of foods by buying them out. Angelica Bechamel comes in accusing us of stuff, saying that we're lying, and so we feed her one of our pizzas, and she has a realization that it's not just about data, it's about hard work. We also hired the Cheese Buddy, and we actually talked to the investigator again, saying that, we told him about the situation with Angelica, and that we finally were able to prosecute them and get them off the map for their anti-competitive practices. And to honor us for that, we get a freaking plaque, which is amazing. Dr. Price also comes in telling us that some of his products were scammy and that we knew they were scammy, but we still bought them because we wanted to support him. And so when Angelica came to the shop threatening us about trying to buy us out, he wanted to help us out using his ads. And in the process, he found out that he could use his own ads in order to help himself and help other people. He could really become a salesman and be something more successful instead of being a sham. We also had Sasha come back saying that it was rough for a little while, but that with the money that we gave her, she was able to send her son to a hospital and keep her shop open. And just because of that, not only do we get a drawing on a box, which I'll show you in a little bit, but we also got 5 seeds for our garden. And she also decided to return the money that we paid her back with a little bit of interest, which I absolutely appreciated, seeing $300 go into the cash register. So after all that, we went and hired the shrimp buddy and went on the next day to see Megabyte again, offering his services since we decided to free him. Where essentially when you use his service, he will make a pizza for free and will give it to the customer. It's that easy. But that it needs resources, mainly 1 gem. So if you see an order that's really difficult to do, you can just click on that arrow and pay 1 gem, or in this case it was free, and he'll insta-make it for you, which is perfect. We also see in the news that crypto that we've invested in is absolutely taking off. And he comes into the pizzeria to basically reward us. And like I said, at that point in time, we get rewarded with a fat $500, which is incredible. That's the pizza box that it looks like, and it's absolutely beautiful. We finally go ahead and hire Eggplant Buddy and hire Corn Buddy, meaning that we've basically bought every single buddy that is possible in the game, at least for now. And we also hear from the Eggplant Lady again that now that BDP's out of business, it's a lot less stressful, and that she can actually help us out with the gardening, which is absolutely amazing because I don't have to keep up with it no more. Oh my god, what? You're gonna reopen the pizzeria? Are we gonna have to deal with him in chapter 5? No way. And with that, we ended off chapter 4 getting the achievement Done and Dusted. This chapter was an absolute joyride. I really enjoyed the entire plot line, all the subplots. You can see that the jalapenos, garlic, and sliced tomatoes you were growing are now up for sale. And I really look forward to seeing what's going to happen in chapter 5.